Long ago in old Japan, the kingdom of the sea was governed by a wonderful king. He was the Dragon King of the sea. His power was immense, for he was the ruler of all sea creatures. The palace of Dragon King was at the bottom of the sea, and was so beautiful. One day he thought that if he married he would not only be happier, but also more powerful. So he decided to take a wife. Calling all his fish retainers together, he chose several of them as ambassadors to go through the sea and seek for a young dragon princess who would be his bride. At last they returned to the palace, bringing with them a lovely young dragon. The king fell in love with her at once, and the wedding ceremony was celebrated with great splendor. Every living thing in the sea, from the great whales down to the little shrimps, came to the wedding ceremony. Now for a time the Dragon King and his bride lived very happily. 2 months passed in this happy way, and then the Dragon Queen fell ill and was obliged to stay in bed. The king was sorely troubled when he saw his precious bride so ill, and at once sent for the fish doctor Alligator to come and give her some medicine. But in spite of all the nurse's assiduous care and the medicine that the Dr. Alligator prescribed, the young queen showed no signs of recovery, but grew daily worse. Then the Dragon King was so upset and mad at the Dr. Alligator that he couldn't cure his queen and didn't know the right medicine. King orders to kill the Dr. Alligator while he is not very competent. The Dr. Alligator says, "Queen can survive the way only if we could bring a liver of a live monkey and give it to her." King is worried and asked from where we could find the live monkey liver while we lived in the water. Dr. Alligator pointed out, "There is dry land far from here called Monkey Island." "Something must be done," said the king, and calling his chief shark he consulted him on the matter. The chief shark thought for some time, and then, as if struck by a sudden thought, said joyfully, "I know what we must do. There is a jellyfish. He is certainly ugly to look at, but he is proud of being able to walk on land with his 4 legs like a tortoise. Let us send him to the island of monkeys to catch one." The jellyfish was called before the king and told him the reason why he is here in the king's palace. The jellyfish was a little scared. He said he had never had any experience in catching monkeys. He was afraid that he would not be able to get one. "Well," said the chief shark, "if you depend on your strength or dexterity you will never catch a monkey. The only way is to play a trick on one." "How can I play a trick on a monkey?" "I don't know how to do it," said the confused jellyfish. "This is what you must do," said the wily chief shark. "When you approach the island of monkeys and meet some of them, you must try to get very friendly with one. Tell him that you are a servant of the Dragon King, and invite him to come and visit you and see the Dragon King's palace." "But how am I to get the monkey here?" "You know monkeys don't swim," said the jellyfish. "You must carry him on your back." "What is the use of your shell if you can't do that?" said the chief shark. "I will do my best then," said the jellyfish, and he swam away from the palace and started off towards Monkey Island. Swimming swiftly he reached his destination in a few hours, and landed by a convenient wave upon the shore. On looking round he saw not far away a big pine tree with drooping branches, and on one of those branches was just what he was looking for, a live monkey. So the jellyfish slowly walked towards the pine tree. In those ancient days the jellyfish had 4 legs and a hard shell like a tortoise. When he got to the pine tree he raised his voice and said, "How do you do, Mr. Monkey? Isn't it a lovely day?" "A very fine day," answered the monkey from the tree. "I have never seen you in this part of the world before. Where have you come from and what is your name?" "My name is Courage or Jellyfish. I am one of the servants of the Dragon King. I have heard so much of your beautiful island that I have come on purpose to see it," answered the jellyfish. "I am very glad to see you," said the monkey. "By the by," said the jellyfish, "have you ever seen the palace of the Dragon King of the sea where I live?" "I have often heard of it, but I have never seen it," answered the monkey. "Then you must come. The beauty of the palace is beyond all description. It is certainly to my mind the most lovely place in the world," said the jellyfish. "Is it so beautiful?" asked the monkey in astonishment. "I have got him at last," thought the jellyfish, but aloud he said, "Mr. Monkey, I must now go back. As you have never seen the palace of the Dragon King, won't you avail yourself of this splendid opportunity by coming with me? I shall then be able to act as guide and show you." "I should love to go," said the monkey, "but how am I to cross the water? I can't swim, as you surely know." "There is no difficulty about that. I can carry you on my back. I can do it quite easily. I am stronger than I look, so you needn't hesitate," said the jellyfish, and taking the monkey on his back he stepped into the sea. "Please don't go so fast, or I am sure I shall fall off," said the monkey. Jellyfish skimming through the waves with the monkey sitting on his back. When they were about halfway, the jellyfish, who knew not much about the body parts, started wondering if the monkey has liver inside him or not. "Mr. Monkey, tell me, have you such a thing as a liver with you?" The monkey was very much surprised at this queer question, and asked what the jellyfish wanted with a liver. "Why is my liver so important to you?" asked the monkey. "You will learn the reason later," said the jellyfish. Then the jellyfish, seeing how anxious the monkey looked, was sorry for him, and told him everything. How the dragon queen had fallen ill, and how the doctor alligator had said that only the liver of a live monkey would cure her, and how the dragon king had sent him to find one. "Now I have done as I was told, and as soon as we arrive at the palace the doctor alligator will want your liver, so I feel sorry for you," said the silly jellyfish. But the monkey was a clever animal, and he thought it the wisest plan not to show any sign of the fear he felt, so he tried to calm himself and to think of some way by which he might escape. Monkey said to Jellyfish, "What a pity it was, Mr. Jellyfish, that you did not speak of this before we left the island. If I had told you why I wanted you to accompany me you would certainly have refused to come," answered the jellyfish. "You are quite mistaken," said the monkey. "Monkeys can very well spare a liver or two, especially when it is wanted for the dragon queen of the sea. If I had only guessed what you were in need of, I should have presented you with one without waiting to be asked. I have several livers. But the greatest pity is, that as you did not speak in time, I have left all my livers hanging on the pine tree." "Have you left your liver behind you?" asked the jellyfish. "Yes," said the cunning monkey, "during the daytime I usually leave my liver hanging up on the branch of a tree, as it is very much in the way when I am climbing from tree to tree. Today, listening to your interesting conversation, I quite forgot it, and left it behind when I came off with you." "Well," said the monkey, "that is soon remedied. I am really sorry to think of all your trouble, but if you will only take me back to the place where you found me, I shall soon be able to get my liver." No sooner had the jellyfish reached the shore than the sly monkey landed, and got up into the pine tree where the jellyfish had first seen him. Monkey quickly ran towards the pine tree and jumped over it and looked at the jellyfish and said, "So many thanks for all the trouble you have taken. Please present my compliments to the Dragon King on your return." The jellyfish wondered at this speech and the mocking tone. Then he asked the monkey if it wasn't his intention to come with him at once after getting his liver. The monkey replied laughingly that he couldn't afford to lose his liver, it was too precious. "Of course, I won't give you my liver, but come and get it if you can," added the monkey mockingly from the tree. There was nothing for the jellyfish to do now but to repent of his stupidity, and to return to the Dragon King of the Sea and to confess his failure, so he started sadly and slowly to swim back. Meanwhile, the Dragon King, the Doctor Alligator, the Chief Shark, and all the servants were waiting impatiently for the return of the jellyfish. When they saw Jellyfish approaching, they asked him where the monkey was. Jellyfish told him the entire story. The Dragon King was so upset and asked his chief to punish Jellyfish for his stupidity. The poor jellyfish, humiliated and horrified beyond all words, cried out for pardon. But the Dragon King's order had to be obeyed. The servants of the palace forthwith each brought out a stick and surrounded the jellyfish, and after pulling out his bones they beat him to a flat pulp, and then took him out beyond the palace gates and threw him into the water. Here he was left to suffer and repent his foolish chattering, and to grow accustomed to his new state of bonelessness. From this story it is evident that in former times the jellyfish once had a shell and bones something like a tortoise, but, ever since the Dragon King's sentence was carried out on the ancestor of the jellyfishes, his descendants have all been soft and boneless just as you see them today thrown up by the waves high upon the shores of Japan.